well, how do we know that any of the people that you've got interested are even going to be alive in 3 years when the building's built? So it's not a sale situation, it's a rental. So that's why getting a partner who's prepared to come in and bring equity to the project, like Pinnacle, is very, very important. Because the way the banks look at it is they say, I'm prepared to loan you $12.5 million. And you say, thank you, but I need 16. And they say, well, we're only prepared to lend you 12 at the back end in first position, because if you can't lease it to Alzheimer's patients, we know we can lease it as a retirement home. So you need $6,600 from Alzheimer's patients to make your $17 million work. We know we can lease it for $4,500 to retirees, just able-minded retirees, as an independent living facility. For $4,500, we get our money back that way. So having somebody like Pinnacle come in and say, we'll loan you $5 million for that gap in exchange, and we'll take 50% of the project as an equity lender, then we can go get conventional construction financing. So that's why we're very excited about the Pinnacle relationship, because not only do they want to do the 3, but they'd like to do more. So that's a good relationship for us, and we've worked hard to try to get that to this stage. So that's where we're at. I mean, I hope, thanks for that point, Rob. I hope that this stays amongst us and with the investors. I would be disappointed if this showed up on someone's website, and so thank you. I have nothing to hide. I have probably a few things I wish I probably hadn't said, but look, I believe in transparency and candor.
Do you see any projects which is very weak in Europe?
That are,
Which is a weak project? Do you see any of the projects that we have so far?
well, I mean, I've been very, very concerned about how hard I've worked over the last 2 years to raise financing for the 3 memory care projects. I have met with more than 100 potential investors, from operators, the big 3 or 4 retirement operators, and every one of them said, John, this is a great thing that you're doing. We need this. Canada needs Alzheimer's facilities like that. We've got 20 people in our Oakville facility that are Alzheimer's patients that we would love for them to not be here. We go broke taking care of them. They've developed Alzheimer's while they've lived with us. We would be a resource for you. We could fill your building for you between ourselves and the other people. We're not set up to take care of Alzheimer's sufferers. You are, that's what you do. We've got 20 people you can have.
Only 80 people maximum.
Right, yeah, so we're only talking about 80, but I mean, the banks go, well, how do I know there are really 80 families in Oakville that have the money to pay $6,000 a month for their mom or their dad, their husband or wife to live there? And I said, you've got to understand the numbers globally. There are 800,000 more or less sufferers in Canada right now with some form of cognitive impairment, whether it's Alzheimer's or dementia or something. If we built one of our facilities in 30 cities, and let's say that's 5 in the GTA, plus the 3, you're probably talking Lakehead or Sudbury, maybe a French facility in Sudbury, Winnipeg, Saskatoon, you're talking 2 in Calgary, 2 in Edmonton, 2 in the Okanagan, West Van, North Van, 2 on the island, 30. Nothing east of Ontario. If there are 800,000 sufferers in each one of our facilities, our 30 facilities had 80 beds. That's 2,400 people out of 800,000. It's 0.001%. Are there 2,400 families in Canada that would put their husband or their wife or their mom or their dad in a dedicated facility? There's no place to put these people. I mean, they're in hospitals, they're being taken care of at home, they're being duct taped to wheelchairs in substandard places. It's a horror show. So I know for a fact, because we're a sponsor of the Alzheimer's Society in Toronto. We participate in their annual, we're their prime sponsor, their gala, and we do the Walk for Memories every year with them. Sarah from our office looks after all that. And they said, they referred us to Halton Region. The Halton Region, the catchment area for Halton is sort of the west end of Mississauga, Port Credit, Oakville, Burlington, up to Milton. If you take that catchment area, there are 13,000 registered Alzheimer's sufferers. Their families have registered them, looking for beds. So between Oakville and Burlington, we're talking, what, 150 beds? 140? 150? Are there 150 out of 13,000 people that'll pay $6,000 a month? I went to one banker, and the banker said, oh, I paid more than that for my son to go to Ridley. But you're paying for your son to go to private school $6,000 a month, but you wouldn't pay to have your mom or your dad or your wife live in an Alzheimer's facility as opposed to... You'd have to demonstrate need, and that's the problem. You have to demonstrate need and your inability to pay, and we're not looking for we're not trying to solve the Alzheimer's housing crisis. We're just saying there is a slice of society that has the ability to pay private pay Alzheimer's care, and that's who we're going after. We're not looking for people that are using their mom's pension or their dad's savings account, or having to sell your mom's house, and you and your brother and your sister and are all kicking in to come up with $6,000. We're looking for somebody who can write a check without even thinking about it, and there are plenty of those people to do it. But try to get a bank to agree to that. It's impossible. So finding an equity investor who's prepared, believes that it is in the healthcare sector. They only do healthcare loans. We're very excited about that. So I'm finally feeling a sense of optimism and relief, other than just pure frustration. We're never going to give up, but one way or another, even if I had to do syndicated mortgage money, I'm going to build them. Yes. We started, and we had to stop construction.
I know there was a hole in the ground. You said they did
Foundations. Footings and foundations are going in, rebar, yeah.
John, a number of people would like to leave, so can we wrap it up, or any questions that other people have to ask me?
Yeah, I'm sorry, I kind of went on and on and on, I apologize.
Yeah, no, some people want to leave, so they don't want to miss anything. That's the problem. They don't want to miss anything. So, any questions that we can ask?
I believe, I say it every time I meet with everybody, and everybody has heard this story. I know you've heard it. I've stood up in presentations, and at the end of it, I've had people that are in their 70s come up to me and say, it's so nice to meet you. I have $100,000 in 5 of your projects. I went home and told my wife that story. This retired couple had $500,000 invested with me. I can't even imagine how long it took them to save $500,000. I didn't sleep. I was awake all night thinking about the responsibility I have to these people. I don't take that lightly, and I also don't take my own business lightly. I've been doing this for 30 years. This is how I make my living, building projects. I believe that I am standing shoulder to shoulder with all of you and all of your investors. In answer to your question, I don't think I have any projects that won't pass the test of the scrutiny that everybody will say, we want to be part of that. We don't buy crappy sites, and we don't waste our money.
Well, John, I think that personally, and I think that the committee believes what you say, that's why you're here. So we appreciate that you came and you're honest with us. And we're going to try to do the best we can to team up with you and get this thing out of their hands.
I'm very appreciative of all of your efforts. Thank you.